Hello and welcome to this edition of the Sports Den Live. My name is Dominic Papa. Thanks for tuning in tonight. We are going to talk about Super Bowl 49. That is what this entire show is going to be dedicated to, and we've got three great guests to talk about that. But before I get to them, of course, I want to give a shout out to the St. Clair College volleyball teams. They win big over the weekend. Of course, you saw a lot of the action right here on we-tv.ca. Congratulations to Chris Brecka and Rob Lynch doing an outstanding job. In fact, for the men, they are now nationally ranked. So the Saints in a good mode there and going in a great direction. Also want to give a shout out to the Express basketball team. Of course, they win the second annual clash at the Coliseum. They also go on the road and defeat Mississauga. They sit back in first place with a 16-7 record. Bill Jones and the gang getting the game straightened out. And Lancer basketball, what a weekend of basketball there for Chris Oliver and Chantal Vallée. Coach Oliver splits with the two Ottawa-based teams, including defeating Carleton. The women win handily over Ottawa. Nice to see Chantal Vallée get back into the win column. Speaking of St. Clair College, we will be back at the St. Clair College Sportsplex a week from tomorrow night, Wednesday evening, February 4th. We will take in more volleyball action. It'll be a doubleheader. The women start at 6 p.m., the men at 8 p.m. Fanshawe College will be providing the opposition. You can watch all the action live right here on we-tv.ca. Also want to give a shout out to one of our sponsors, and of course we're going to talk about the Super Bowl, so if you need some good pizza for the Super Bowl, then check out Pizza King. They'll be running a special on Sunday. They'll take $2 off all king-size pizzas. They also have other deals available. Give the King a ring right there at 944-2201-519. Of course, they're located on Paulette Road, so get all your grub for the Super Bowl. I'll probably be ordering some stuff, that's for sure. Let's get right into the Super Bowl talk. To my far side of the table, he's a veteran guest here on the Sports Den. He's the ultimate sports fan. He watches it all and pretty knowledgeable. I'm talking about Mr. Joe Zeppa. Welcome back to the show, Joe.
Thanks for having me, Don.
Super Bowl parties?
I haven't decided yet. It could
Offers?
be a quiet,
Offers?
Offers, but it could be a quiet night at home.
Depends on the food, though, right?
Yeah,
It's all about the food, right?
Yeah, it depends what's on the menu.
On the menu, okay. Then right after that, you get into the basketball mode, don't you?
Yeah, March Madness.
March Madness.
Yeah,
So
Big Ten tournament and March Madness.
So you love this time of year. Like
This is a great time of year.
for a sports fan like you, anyways,
yeah.
that's for sure.
Exactly, yeah. The All-Star Game, the Pro Bowl, Super Bowl, and now March Madness. It's beautiful.
All right, well, that's why you're here, because you got all that stuff down pat.
Gets right into baseball after that.
Well, let's not go too far ahead of ourselves here, but thanks for coming in. Also on the show with us this evening, first-time guest here on the Sports Den. Love this guy for sure. What a tremendous coach he was for a number of years at the high school level. He also helped out with the University of Windsor. I think he's still kicking around a little bit, but not as much. We certainly don't see him as much, but certainly love having him around. Coach Rick Bowers joining us on the show. Welcome to the show, Coach
Thanks,
Bowers.
Don.
Thanks for
Pleasure to
coming
be
in.
here.
And are you still doing a little
Yeah,
bit?
wherever my kids are
Okay.
at. We have 3 grandchildren, my wife and I, and we spend as much time as we can with them. So we're pretty active with the kids.
Yeah, but the priorities change, don't.
They sure have. Yeah.
And do you miss it at all, or?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
But I'm able to now, if it's raining or snowing, I just stay in the car and direct from there.
Well, that's not a bad thing then,
Not a
right?
bad
Well,
thing.
that comes with years of experience, all right?
Absolutely,
So you've
yeah.
got that down pat. The football scene in our area, I mean, you're still very much in touch with a lot of the people.
Yep.
Pretty good shape, isn't it?
I think so. Yeah. I think the biggest thing is keeping our coaches at one school and not having coaches all over the place where you can't really develop a program. So as long as we can keep our coaches at schools and have people within the school, then I think we're good, because the kids are there.
Yeah.
The kids are great, as Joe knows. He knows better than I do, but I love Windsor football and always have and always will.
Well, you're one of the guys that have made it successful, so we thank you for that.
Thank you.
Do appreciate you coming in here tonight. Coach Bauer just alluded to Joe. Of course, we have a great football crew here at we-TV when we do the AKL games or some high school stuff. We've got a great football analyst in Coach Joel Manerick, who's also an assistant coach with the Essex Ravens. Welcome to the show, Joe.
Thanks, Tom.
Looking pretty dapper there, buddy. I like that new tight haircut. Wow. You know, I had to comment on that, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Essex Ravens, they've been in the news lately, Joe. Probably can't say too much yet, but sounds like they're close to a new home.
Yeah, it looks like we may have an announcement in a couple weeks or so. Hopefully we have our banquet coming up, and around that time something should come out. But it's a pretty exciting time for us, and we're looking forward to it.
How will that change? Will it change the dynamics of the team at all,
No,
Joe?
I mean, we are what we are. We've been in it for almost 20 years. We're really player focused and want to give the players as many opportunities and facilities, the best facilities that we possibly can, and that's kind of where this is leading us to, and we're pretty excited to what might be announced shortly.
Yeah, and I guess I'm not going to say it's going to be better. We don't know. I think it will be from what it sounds like. But nice run in Essex there, and unfortunately
Absolutely.
Times change, right?
Yeah, absolutely. You get kind of squeezed out sometimes with the school board. They have their certain agendas, and it is what it is. And we were just a leasee or a renter, and and that's what happens sometimes. Unfortunately, the town, we haven't been able to work out anything with the town as far as other arrangements. So free agents, so to speak, at this point in time.
There you go. Not far away before you guys kick into business.
No, we're in the midst of our off-season conditioning
Yeah.
program, so we're in our second phase right now. We'll at start of February we'll start phase 3. Goes up to a March break, and then as soon as we can, we're outside. So it'll wrap
Comes
up
fast.
pretty quick.
Boy, just not much time off, that's for sure. Thanks for coming in tonight, Joe. As mentioned, we're going to talk about Super Bowl 49. New England, Seattle Seahawks. Of course, I can safely say with this panel here, we're all hoping Seattle wins this thing for Luke Wilson. That's for sure. Am I right or wrong, guys? I don't know.
We'll see at the end.
Yeah.
We'll see at the end here, actually. I'm going to say I'm pulling for Seattle because of Luke Wilson then. But should be a great game. Unfortunately, we go into this game, and I don't want to spend a lot of time on this, guys, but there's this debate, the football debate, whatever they call it, Deflategate. Too much time has been spent on it. The Super Bowl should be the focal point, but I think Coach Belichick has tried to deflect some of the distraction, and the owner came out, I think it was yesterday, and really, I mean, he's asked for an apology from the NFL. I don't know if that's the right thing.
He's stretching there.
Do they deserve it or not?
I don't think so.
No.
No, because apparently they have a locker room attendant on tape taking the balls into another room and then coming out with them, half an hour later. So
90 seconds. He went to it was a washroom.
was it a
He
washroom?
went to a washroom for 90 seconds.
With the balls.
With the balls. He's in charge of the balls. He had to go to the washroom, steps into the washroom for 90 seconds, leaves outside the door, and goes back out to the field.
I think it's an old Shakespearean play, much to do about nothing.
I totally agree.
I think SPN had a real good, I think a lot of people saw that program on the science of what went on. And the thing was, most of the things with deflating, other than the quarterback holding onto the ball, is really negative for the offense. Ball gets there slower. You're not throwing it as fast. So I think it won't have any effect on the games.
Well, I don't think it's gonna have
Brady
any effect.
himself said that he likes his footballs a certain way, so that should give you a hint that he might have had something to do with it.
Every quarterback likes the
Yeah.
ball a certain way. Every quarterback is different. Everyone massages the ball differently. It's crazy. I know when we play, we have to actually take the ball directly out of the box and hand it to the official before, and then they check it. There's nothing scientific in the way they do it. They press it, and sometimes, this ball needs a little bit more air. So who knows? And officials in the NFL, they've done it for, those guys are 17, 18 years old. Your vets, those guys. So who's to say that they actually put the valve into the ball to check the air pressure of what it was? Because they've done it every game for 15, 16 years. So who knows what the pressure was at the start of the game? They're going to say they did all the right things because now they're in direct line of fire.
So is an apology?
There's no way they can prove anything.
I don't.
No.
There's no way the
So-
NFL is going to be able to prove it. So
No,
there's
but
no
should
apology.
should they apologize though to New England? Should they?
well,
apologize?
obviously there's some leaks that got out and how these things got reported in the first place. So maybe that's what they need to apologize about and
So
clean up
you
their
think the
house.
NFL does owe them somewhat of an apology?
Whether it's an apology or explaining how these leaks got out, is obviously.
You know what? I just wish it would go away because it's.
Even better.
Well, again, and I think the
it's
NFL
so
wants
irrelevant.
that. Yeah.
So what, they beat Indianapolis 38-7?
45-7, something
No,
like
no,
that,
but
by
you
38, yeah.
only score 5 touchdowns instead of 6? I mean,
Yeah.
let's,
But
let's
now on the
worry
flip
about
side,
something.
is it better talking about this or than all the other issues they had during the season?
True, well, it's been
So that could be a,
wow,
you know,
it's been a roller coaster ride for the
absolutely.
NFL.
So you
this
rather,
year.
what's more important to the NFL, being talking about sexual or abuse, physical abuse, or talking about footballs?
Yeah. Well, the thing, again, I mean, there's never any good timing on any of these issues, but now you're going into your marquee game. You know, you've got billions of, not billions, but hundreds of millions of dollars that are put together and, you know, for this one big game, and there's still this issue going on. I think that's where, you know, the timing's not good.
But was it fabricated to take the heat off
Well,
of some of
was
the
it?
other
Was
things?
it? Do you think so?
It's a possibility.
Well, that's a good theory.
I think anything's on the table.
I mean, anything to take away from, you know, all the abuse that.
Yeah.
It was a
Right,
rough
right.
year
And,
for
and
the
you know
NFL.
what? Goodell has to take a lot of blame here.
Well, he's the guy in charge of
he
everything.
should, yeah, I don't think he had a real solid leadership year that you would want
God,
from
no.
your
Yeah, he didn't have a handle on the NFL
But you know what?
at all.
His job is safe, though. I don't care
Absolutely.
what anyone says.
Oh, yeah.
His job is safe because look at the money he has made the NFL.
times.
We're not talking hundreds of millions. We're talking billions.
For sure.
Okay? And look at, you know, all of these owners are businessmen, bottom line. And it's the almighty buck that runs this thing.
It's all about the money.
They cannot say that Roger Goodell has not done a good job there in
No.
making them money. You know, they can pay these salaries to these players because of the money that's made, the TV contracts, everything. I mean, look what they're charging for Super Bowl commercials now. I think it's up to $4 million.
Yeah,
million.
4.5 million.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know, like, come on, what does that tell you?
Yeah.
And people are buying it. I mean, it's sold out.
Not only that, my Super Bowl ticket would have cost me $1,500.
There you go. You know, and that's with a connection. So, you know, can you imagine? You know, just if you're some Joe Blow fan. I mean, for a fan, going to the Super Bowl is just a dream now.
Yeah, it's,
Oh, yeah.
it's not even.
It's corporate.
Yeah.
It's corporate. It's sponsors. It's all of that
Yeah.
stuff. So, all right. Well, let's get into it. Enough of the Deflategate. It's done. It's over. They're going to play a football game, and that's what we want to talk about. New England, Seattle. Great matchup. Seattle, of course, the defending champions. Let's start first, guys, with special teams. The edge. Who has the edge? Why? And will this be any factor in the outcome of the game? I don't. Both teams are very good when it comes to special teams.
I don't see a huge advantage either way. Maybe the New England kicker might have a little bit of an advantage, but yeah, maybe in the kicking game I'd give a little bit of an edge to New England.
Okay.
Return coverage,
Pretty tight.
they're pretty tight because, you know what, both of these teams, when they design their roster, not only do they have to be good offensively, defensively, but they take care to make sure that in their depth, that they have good special teams players.
And on top of that, if you look at actually the players that play on those special teams unit, there's quite a bit of starters.
Sure,
On,
yeah.
on both sides. Both
Yeah.
Pete Carroll and Bill Belichick, they do a great job of having their best players on the field for those special teams.
Yeah.
As far as the kicking game goes, I think punting is probably a wash between John Ryan and Brian Allen from the Patriots, but I think the kicker goes to Gostkowski, and return game I think goes to Patriots with Edelman, as opposed to
Yeah, Edelman's been
I couldn't even
pretty
name
damn good.
the
Well,
Seattle.
the thing about
punt return.
Adelman, when I coached specials at the university, you always wanted the guy to get up the field first, and then you can break it off and get the big yard. He always gets 10, 12, which is a first
That's a-
down.
yeah, that's a
It's a
huge-
first down. From the time you catch the ball, you know you're going to have a first down. And that's a big in-field position.
But they
it's a
are
big
playing indoors though, so they don't have to
No,
worry
it's not
about the
indoors.
wind. Yeah, it's indoors, isn't it?
They don't know if it's going to be open or closed yet. I don't think they've made that decision.
Yeah,
They
well,
think they have 72 hours.
Yeah,
before they
if
make
it's
that
closed,
decision.
then they don't have to worry
Well,
about the
exactly.
weather and that. But if it's open, then
But
you
more
know,
than likely in Arizona, the weather should be
Pretty
Yeah,
relatively
Yeah, it'll
decent.
probably be open unless
I'm
a freak,
guessing it's going to be open. And I know that decision hasn't been made yet.
unless a freak rainstorm comes through and
And
they
the
have
amount
to
of
close it.
opening that they have at that stadium is minuscule.
Yeah,
It's not fully open, like a fully open stadium.
yeah. So, yeah, obviously, I don't think weather will be a factor whether it is open or not. I mean, it's only going to be open if the weather is good. And
beautiful, yeah.
If it's not good, then it's not going to be open at all, of course, so.
Yeah.
Which teams are you going with here, Joe?
I like Seattle.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think they might repeat.
No, I'm not asking for that. I'm specialty
Oh,
teams.
special teams, I'll go with Seattle.
Okay, you
Seattle
like them
special
better?
team. Yeah, I think so.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
I like them better.
All right, good enough. You mentioned Pete Carroll. Maybe we should touch off on that a little bit quickly before we go to our break here, and then we'll get into the offense, defense. Pete Carroll, Bill Belichick. Wow, both these guys are intense guys, and Belichick's, obviously this is his 9th Super Bowl, believe it or not. Pretty amazing record that way. Is there an edge there at all between these two guys?
I don't know if you can find one. I'm not sure.
Let me put it
It's-
this way to the panel, okay? If you were the owner of one of these teams and you're going to the Super Bowl, who do you want coaching your team?
Belichick.
Yeah.
Belichick, yeah.
I would take, yeah.
You know what? He
He
read
cheats
an
the
article,
best.
Spygate.
but he starts preparing this team for all situations beginning from practice 1. So whatever he's going to face, whatever the Patriots will face in this game, I'm almost positive they will have already practiced it. And if there's changes that go on, I think he'll adapt. Carroll's an emotional guy.
Yeah,
I
he's
mean,
fired.
he
He's
everybody wants to play for Pete Carroll. His players love him.
Mm-hmm.
Belichick, I mean, he's like Scotty Bowman, right?
But I think the players love Belichick.
Absolutely.
Oh,
I think
In their own way.
in their own way.
Yeah.
I think there's
Yeah.
that same, maybe not the intense bond, but there's a bond there.
Yes, there is.
I think
But-
players go there and want to play for this guy.
Carroll has that rah-rah attitude like when he was at
Yeah,
USC.
he is a college.
Yeah, he's a college coach. That's basically.
Well, I don't know if I'd call him a college coach. He's won a Super Bowl, so he's proven himself at the NFL.
But he brought that college kind of rah-rah mentality to Seattle. Like you said, he's a fiery coach. He fires up the players, and that's the way he is.
So you who would you take, Belichick or
Oh, I take Pete Carroll. I think he motivates the players a little
Okay,
bit better.
well, you're
yeah,
all Seattle,
yeah.
so.
Oh yeah, I
You
would
said
take Pete.
Belichick,
Well,
right?
yeah, they both prepare their teams. If you look at the teams, they both play very good defenses. They do what they have to do on offense. They both have good power running games. They understand the importance of ball security. They coach very similar as far as their schemes go, but they're different in they both preach competition. I know Luke talks about at Seahawks practices, they have basketball nets out there and they have competitions. At everything they do, they compete, which is great. And Belichick does the same thing in a different way.
Sure.
So, but what's interesting is when Pete Carroll got fired by the Patriots, he was hired. Who got hired next was Belichick. So
Sure.
they could have been flipped around.
Yeah, interesting. Didn't think about that, but you're right in saying that. So, all right, good stuff. We got to take a time out here on the Den. When we come back, we'll ask the panel about which offense is going to be better and which defense is going to be better, and we'll get a prediction from the panel. We'll have that for you right here on the Sports Den.
Adding new products or services to your brochure? Updating those drab business cards? Or looking to create a striking window display? In need of some screen-printed signs for that construction site or promotional campaign? Posters, vehicle wraps, and a whole lot more. At Angel Star Digital, our expert design and production team are ready to meet all your promotional needs. For samples of our work, check out our website at www.angelstardigital.com, or you can call us at 519-969-0712. That's 519-969-0712.
Hi, I'm Joe Quenville, coach of the Chicago Blackhawks and a proud graduate of FJ Brennan High. I can remember fondly my 5 great years at Brennan. It seems like just yesterday that we're there. A lot of great life lessons that I learned along the way, particularly from my teachers in the Catholic program. Want to wish everybody there good luck and look forward to being a proud graduate and being a proud Cardinal going on here in Chicago.
Like our champions, we know what it takes to win. Every day we put on our uniforms and we strive to be the best. Ring after ring, we keep practicing until it becomes second nature. Our craftsmen have put in thousands of hours to master their trade. And when things get tough, we make the adjustments needed to stay on top. Baron Championship Rings. This is who we are.
I didn't watch it.
Well, at least it's in Hawaii.
Welcome back
No,
to the
it's not.
Sports Den. Apologize, we're still talking about everything here, but thanks for coming back to the Sports Den Live. Dominic Papa with you. Before we get back to our panel, again, a reminder, a week from tomorrow night, right here on we-tv.ca. Next Wednesday, we'll be back at the St. Clair College Sportsplex. We'll be taking in OCA men's and women's volleyball action. The Saints will be hosting Fanshawe College. Again, another key matchup for both those teams. Women go at 6 p.m., the men at 8 p.m. You can check it all out right here live on we-tv.ca. Sports fan Joe Zeppa is here with us. Also, football coach Rick Bauer and football coach with the Essex Ravens, Joel Manerick, also our WeTV football analyst. So, of course, you watch him many times when we're doing our football coverage. We're talking about Super Bowl 49. We're going to get into, let's go defensive. No, let's go offense, because they say you win with defense. So let's go offense first. Obviously, Brady's the guy. I mean, you know what? He's been there, he's done it, he's won it. He still looks great. You know, he's gotten over the hump of all the changes that have been made with this team in the last couple of years. Put up 45 against Indianapolis last week, even with inflated or deflated footballs, whatever. And you gotta like the experience he brings. Which team has more depth offensively, and which team is better?
In my opinion, the offensive team is I don't think hands down would be New England as far as overall. I think running games are equal when it comes down
really?
to I truly believe the running game's equal.
Okay.
And then passing game, you would give it to.
Did you get punted in the head lately? or-
Absolutely not.
Okay.
I'm going to
curious.
discuss that.
How about that?
You see LeGarrette Brown run for 149 yards against Indianapolis?
Yeah, but
Okay.
that's Indianapolis.
I think overall, New England has a better offense. They have more weapons from the outside in. As much as we love Luke Wilson,
Yeah.
Gronkowski's an all-pro. When you compare all the receivers as a package, it's substantially in favor of New England. Running game, I sort of disagree a little bit with Joe. I think Marshawn Lynch is a difference maker.
Thanks, Coach Bauer.
sure.
I just.
But it's, I don't think the difference between, in the running game between the two teams is that much. But
But what I love about Marshawn Lynch, it seems like when everything's on the line, this guy steps up. Like a big game or something needed to be done to maybe even change them. This is their go-to guy, and he responds. He puts it out. He brings it.
no, he
Well, if you
does.
stop him, I think you stop the Seattle offense.
For the most part, that's what Green Bay did.
Yeah.
For the most part, then they let him, for whatever reason, they let the game go. But as far as, Marshawn Lynch is the best running back in the game. But if you look at Shane Vereen, you look at LeGarrette Blount.
They're steady,
you
they're
you
consistent.
Who's the running back behind Marshawn Lynch?
Well, no, depth-wise, for sure.
That's what I'm saying.
I
When we
mean,
talk about running games, when everything's equal, I think they're both equal. You're not going to get any argument that Marshawn Lynch is not the best running back in the game.
Okay.
He is.
Okay.
But when you add the offensive line in there, you add in the other backs, I think New England is at least on par.
We're forgetting one thing, guys.
Okay.
Tom Brady.
For sure.
Enough said, I think.
Yeah,
I
but
have
you know
to
what?
agree with that. Yeah, Tom
I
Brady.
hear you, Tom Brady. But Russell Wilson could cause some fits for a team. I mean, let's face it, he runs better than Brady.
Well, I mean, Coach Bauer can run better than Brady.
I don't know about that.
With or without the pads. That's what you gotta realize, Coach. With or
With
without
either
the
or,
pads.
with the pads or.
Yeah, exactly.
I got my money to coach.
Yeah, Brady
it.
just got, but that's what I'm saying. Like Wilson does have that, and you know what? You can take Brady's got his Super Bowls and his MVP, but Wilson is the kind of guy that finds ways to win. He's not a big quarterback, but he still finds ways to be effective.
But when you look at the type of game that he plays and the type of defense that New England plays, that falls in New England's hand and how to play that style of quarterback. As far as Tom Brady goes, if they spend a lot of time on Gronkowski, Edelman's going to eat him alive, Amendola's going to eat him alive, Brandon LaFell's going to have a big day. If they don't spend that much time on Gronkowski, then he's going to have a big game. So there's a lot more weapons on the New England side for sure. And then you have Brady pulling the trigger.
Okay. Who's better on your side there? You going with Seattle again here? Or?
No, he made a point. Brady has a lot of weapons in New England. You know, you got Gronkowski, Amendola, Edelman. You know, that one trick play they had, he tossed it to Edelman. Edelman threw a touchdown. You know what I mean? I think they're gonna.
So you take
drive
Gronkowski
Seattle
over
crazy.
Wilson? Huh?
I've told Luke this. I
How'd he
think Luke would
take it?
take him over. If you had a fantasy draft, I think Luke would take Gronk.
You know what? I cannot believe the improvement in Luke
My.
from last year.
What-
His
and
blocking.
Everything.
He threw some incredible blocks there.
All year.
And obviously, Coach Carroll put more stock in him this year. Put him in those key situations and threw more to him this year than I think in his first year.
Well, he
So
got that 2-point conversion
Obviously,
against Green Bay.
he's made his mark. And
Absolutely.
Coach Carroll, I'm sure, would agree with you wholeheartedly that Luke Wilson's made leaps and bounds this year for sure. Okay, let's go to the defensive side of the ball. I only got about 3 minutes left, guys. Defensive side of the ball, everybody's talking about Sherman and Revis. That's all they talk about here. They're great. I'm not trying to take away what they don't mean to their teams. But I think that for that reason, and I was watching an interview with Joe Theismann, of course, our speaker from the Westby Awards, and Theismann said those guys might be non-factors in this game because they're not going to go near them. And he might be right. When he said that and explained it to me, to the viewing audience, I was like, yeah, that makes sense. These guys might not even be a factor in this game. So where does it go from there?
Well, in doing that, they've already affected the game.
Well, for
Because
sure, yeah.
they've taken away
Yeah,
half
right,
the field.
Right.
So now it's changed the focus on the other half of the field where the defenses can play. So even though if they don't throw them, they still affect the game. But as far as the entire defense goes, it's pretty close. I think the one key is going to be on the defensive line. Who wins defensive line, I think, is who's going to win this game.
Well, if you look at what's happened this year, the one weakness that the Seattle defense has had is the running game, which is going back to what Joe was mentioning with, you get a big pounder like Blunt going in there,
You have to
and
stop
he
the
can
run.
continually move that ball, and then Brady can do those little bing and bang, little underneath stuff that he does so well. The key for New England is they got to take away, try to neutralize the run as much as they can, but they got to keep Wilson from going to his right. If Wilson gets out there, he's much more effective going to his right than going to his left, and the read option. I think New England has a lot less to worry about than
what Seattle does.
Seattle.
Agreed.
Okay.
If New England stops Lynch, that's going to be a factor. If they stop Lynch, then Russell Wilson's going to have to scramble. He's going to have to try to pass
it's
probably
gonna
to
force him to
Luke
throw the ball
and
more.
yeah, exactly. Have to throw the ball more. Yeah.
Okay, last minute of play here. I need a prediction, and I want to also get an MVP from you guys. Who you think might be the dark horse there, or whatever?
Who wants to go first?
Go ahead.
Either way, I win in this game because if Seattle wins, Luke wins, and I'm happy for Luke. But New England is my favorite team. They have been for a long time. So I'm just going to sit back and enjoy. I'm thinking it's going to be a 24-20 Patriots victory. And I'm going to pick Luke Wilson as the MVP, 2 touchdowns for Seattle.
In a loss?
In a loss.
Wow. Okay. Wow. I like that. That's good, Joe. That's a good suck up. Go ahead, Coach Bob.
With my heart, Seattle. With my head, New England.
Yeah.
I think Gronkowski's going to be the MVP, and I'm thinking 27-24, last-minute field goal.
A little bit tighter than Joe.
You took my score.
All right. Go ahead.
27-24. I'm going to go with Seattle, and I think Russell Wilson will be the MVP.
All right, I'm gonna simply say that it's going to be Seattle. I am picking them outright to beat them. I'm also going to say Russell Wilson will be the MVP. This guy is fired up. I love his energy, and I'm going to go that 30-26 score. That's what I'm going to go with. So you can laugh at me next week when I'm on the show and throw something at the television and leave it at that. But that's where I'm going with it. Joe, great. Coach Barr,
Thanks,
great
Don.
to see you. Thanks a lot. Joe, we'll talk to you soon. Enjoy
Yes.
the Super Bowl, guys, and everybody at home, enjoy the Super Bowl. Check us out again here next Tuesday. We'll have another Sports Den Live for you right from the We Dash TV studio. Until then, this is Dominic Papa wishing you a great week. Thanks for tuning in, everybody.